Hello beautiful people, it is Amanda here from Mystical Dragon. I wanted to bring you today our Rebirth and New Beginnings Not Magic spell, which has been the focus of our October 2022 full moon spell box. We produce a full moon spell box each month, which is specifically designed for the energy coming up for each full moon. So this full moon that we have coming up is the Aries full moon, and it also falls at the same time as the 1010 gateway. So that brings a real strong energy for rebirth and new beginnings, which is what we have decided to focus on for this particular month. But even if you haven't got the spell box, you might have everything that you need to be able to do this spell for yourself at home. So we are essentially going to end up having made, with doing our Not Magic, this beautiful decoration here, which has 3 strands to it. It focuses around the number 10, so we actually have 10 pieces of carnelian, which we've threaded. We have 10 knots, and we do have a plait as well. And 3 is a really powerful number in Magic, considered by some to be the most powerful number in Magic. And we focused as well on that number 10 being the 1010 energy, and 10 being a number. So when we break 10 down in numerology, it breaks down to 1, which is that number of rebirth and new beginnings, new chapters. It's all about manifesting, creating, new paths, new opportunities in our life. So before you start, you might want to think about a specific fresh new start or new opportunity or new chapter that you want to put energy into. If you're thinking, my whole life isn't feeling really good at the moment, I'm not really happy with any part of it, well then maybe you want to focus on just a rebirth and a new beginning in general, for universe to be able to make that decision for you. Now this actually takes a little bit of time to put together completely, so I'm going to kind of guide you with the different steps, but without showing you me doing the whole lot necessarily, only because it does take a little while to do. But I will give you enough, I will show you enough that you will have a good gist as to how to create this already. And obviously you can be as creative as you want. You can add extra decorations, whatever it is that you want that feels most appropriate to you as well. We focused on the green here, green being very connected to rebirth, the carnelian being very connected to self-worth and nurturing of self, and being able to, have the courage to take those next steps and new beginnings and whatever opportunities present once we've requested this new beginning. So the first thing we actually have, I've got 3 herbs here. We have the red clover, the myrrh and the mistletoe, and these are all focused around lifting our vibration, bringing in peace, protection, success, love, courage, all of those things. And we actually want to put some of all of these into a container all together, so that we can mix ourselves a little incense blend to firstly have that burning and get us in the right space while we're working. And then secondly, we can actually add some more of this to our charcoal disc once we've completed creating our Not Magic and our decoration, and be able to move our decoration through the smoke from that to help cleanse it and also imbue it with this added energy too. So I've already got my charcoal disc burning in there. So of course when you're creating your incense, you want to make sure you're thinking about what your focus is, so that you're not only putting your own energy in as you blend it, but you're putting in the focus, what your spell is for, into that as well. Then we move into the creation of doing our Not Magic and the creation of our decoration. So you really need 4 pieces of cord which we've provided in our box. You also want a piece of thread, a decent sized thread, and you also want your 10 pieces of carnelian as well. So first thing we want to be doing is using the 3 of the cords, we actually want to plait our cord. Now all you need to do is a knot at one end of your cord to secure the 3 knots together, and that is very easily done. You know, you can simply, none of the knot magic here is difficult, it's all simple knots. So just loop them all together and pull it all up so that you have a starting point, and then pull that really nice and tight, and then that gives you a good place to start your plait. And you just simply, you might want somebody to hold it at the end, but you are simply doing a normal plait, nothing too fancy. But while we are doing our plait, that is when we're going to start to speak our invocation. And our invocation is, 1, today I weave good fortune in, for new opportunities in which I win. May good luck knock upon my door. May every step see me prosper more. Rebirth is embraced easily with not 5. May I see positive magic around me and constantly alive. With God and Goddess blessing me with love and grace, my life flows with movement at a perfect pace. With harm to none, so mote it be. And you just keep going with your plait until you get it right to the end, going all the way. Doesn't matter if you finish your invocation sooner than your plait or if you finish it at the same time. It's just a matter of taking your time with it, reading your invocation, thinking about this rebirth and this new beginning. And especially if you are focused on a particular area of your life that you want that to be in, then even thinking about that particular area of your life. And then when you're finished, we just knot the plait the same at the end so that you have the plait all knotted up so it won't fall apart on you. And then you can put that one aside. Then we take the single cord, and this time we're going to be adding literal knots into this one. You don't want to leave too much of a space with the cord that we've provided. It's just a great length to get all your knots in without them having a huge space in between. So once again, using your invocation, but this time with each one we do a knot. And once again, just using a simple knot. Today I weave good fortune in. For new opportunities in which I win. So you can see I'm literally only doing maybe a finger's difference. May good luck knock upon my door. And carrying on the whole way. May every step see me prosper more. Focusing on each statement as you make the knot. Each statement. Right the way to knot number 10, which is so mote it be. And then you'll have your second cord that's completely knotted, ready to go. And you can lay that down ready. Then lastly, we want to use the thread. And we're actually going to, so what I recommend you do is you bind the top with your thread, with one end of your thread, before you start doing any of your work with your carnelian. So that's really easily done. you take your green knots, you literally are just, and I would do it just under, if you can see here, I've done it just under my knots, my knot that knotted the plait to help keep that in place. But I've got my first knot from my 10 knots is sitting just underneath where I'm binding. So you're just binding by wrap, 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 and then you just do another little knot, or I like to double knot here to make sure it doesn't come undone, so that's just 2 knots on top of each other. And then we work in a very similar way to we did with our knots. It's just literally, let me get this one out of the way, it's just literally, we slide a carnelian on. So obviously you need carnelian chips that have got the holes in them. You slide your carnelian on, then you do just a simple, the same sort of knot we've been doing, just a simple knot, and you say your first statement from the invocation. Today I weave good fortune in. And then you thread another carnelian on and leave a little bit of space before you do another knot, and you say your statement and carry on. As you can see, you know, if you want to really space them out really neatly, you can, or just where they kind of fall. That's how I did it. I kind of just went with the energy and the momentum as I was doing it, and where they ended up is where they ended up. But you end up threading 10 carnelians, doing 10 knots. Then you want to leave a little bit of thread at the end and just simply cut your thread down. And from our box, you'll also have enough thread that if you want to, you can add some extra thread at the top to be able to hang it once it's all done and charged up and finished. So then that will leave you with your own gorgeous knot decoration. As I said, then it's great once you've got all that set in place to stoke your charcoal disc with some more incense, get some of that beautiful smoke happening, and then you can literally take a few minutes to really focus on your intent once again. Swirl your decoration through that smoke, get it really charged up in that energy. So take a good few minutes to do that. And then of course this is what you would leave on your altar to charge up overnight at the full moon itself. Then from the next day, that's when it's a good idea. So give it time to charge up overnight at the full moon. And then from the next day, you can either have this so you could carry it on yourself if you wanted to, which would mean you wouldn't have to add any thread to the top. Or if you want, you can add yourself a little hook and find somewhere where you can actually hang this, preferably somewhere where you're maybe going to see it and be reminded of its energy. You could of course always have it, give it a special place on your altar where you will also see it and be reminded of its energy working for you. But you can certainly hang it somewhere so that it can, you know, that energy will be around you. It'll be reminding you of what you've begun, what you've requested. And then of course it's really important to be open to any opportunities that come your way. So, you know, if you've requested new opportunity or new beginnings, we have to be open to, you know, maybe somebody will offer you an opportunity. Perhaps you'll get offered, you know, it could be anything. We have to be open to being a little bit brave and maybe considering some things that are a bit outside the box, or saying yes to some things. Not to say that you have to say yes to everything just because you've done your spell, but maybe consider whether, you know, whatever is presented after you've done your spell in the days and weeks after, consider it, decide, is this part of my new beginning, my new opportunity? Sometimes when we say yes to something, it leads to bigger and better things, and, you know, it can be a really magnificent thing, can bring wonderful surprises into your life. So I really hope that you enjoy doing that spell. I know it's something I enjoyed doing for myself, putting together my beautiful decoration. And it is something, you know, that you can have around you and utilize for a long while to come yet. It tends to bring quite a bit of energy in, so like I said, be open to those opportunities, new suggestions. See where your intuition is guiding you after you have completed this spell and put your request out to universe. Wishing you a beautiful full moon. I really feel like it's going to be a powerful one with this combined energy of the 1010 gateway as well as this Aries full moon, and so much solar energy that we've got going on, helping to boost and raise our vibration in the lead up to these things as well. If you haven't seen my video on the Aries full moon and the 1010 gateway, do check that out. That was the last one that I have posted, so do have a look at that. It'll give you even more of a sense as to what that energy is good for, and certainly other things you might consider doing at this time as well. So sending out loads of blessings, looking forward to seeing you guys in the future again.